I want to welcome up the winner of the Democratic primary in a state house race in Cranston, District 16, to talk about the impact of this battle on the health care of millions of Americans. Brandon Potter.
Good afternoon, everyone. Can everyone hear me okay? No? All right, I'll talk a little louder. Can everyone hear me okay? Great. So my name is Brandon Potter. I'm the Democratic candidate for state representative from District 16 in Cranston. Thank you. But that's not why I'm here today. I'm here today to talk about what the Supreme Court appointment will mean to over 50 million Americans who we've become so comfortably casual in calling having a pre-existing condition. You know, we hear that term a lot, and I wonder what gets lost in translation along the way in those 7 syllables. So I want to take a minute and talk about what that actually means. It means people who are sick, people who are suffering, and people who require medical care in order to stay alive. I'm here today with my girlfriend Katie, who next month will be celebrating her 32nd birthday. And even though I've been very busy, as everyone can imagine, running a campaign, and Katie's been very busy helping me in that campaign, it hasn't stopped her from sending me messages on Instagram with hints of birthday presents that she wants. But I know the present that she really wants, and that's a kidney transplant. Because last month marked 3 years that Katie's been on dialysis treatment because of a genetic kidney disease called FSGS. She's been waiting for a transplant for a really long time. And despite qualifying for Medicare, it requires a secondary private insurance policy in addition to that in order to qualify for a transplant. So for all of last year, part of 2018, we spent hundreds of dollars per month to buy her that insurance policy and keep her active on the transplant list. And we got some really good news last December that she had made it into the top 10 on that transplant list. That was until January, when she received a letter in the mail letting her know that her insurance policy was canceled because of new regulations and guidelines. And she was removed off that transplant list and stuck waiting to qualify for a new plan at the next open enrollment period. And that happens next month too. But what happens shortly after that is the Supreme Court will hear arguments to decide whether or not to overturn the Affordable Care Act, which is the only law that prevents insurance companies from being able to deny sick people the health care coverage that they need. Since winning the presidency, Donald Trump and his administration have fought repeatedly to repeal what they call quote-unquote Obamacare and take away health care from millions of Americans like Katie who are sick and need health care coverage. We remember in 2017 when the Republican-led House of Representatives narrowly passed a repeal of the Affordable Care Act. And we remember how they celebrated joyfully after they did that. But we also remember the courage of the late Senator John McCain, who was the deciding vote to prevent that repeal from happening in the Senate. We were one vote away. We were that close. And we're that close again right now. You know, there's some sad irony to the fact of how we call this a pre-existing condition. Because so much of this push and this hurry to stack the courts is this right-wing obsession of rewinding the clock to the conditions that existed previously. When women didn't have the right to govern their own bodies, when LGBTQ people were not allowed equal protection under the law to be discriminated against, and when health insurance companies were allowed to deny coverage to sick people. Well, we're not going to allow that clock to turn back without a fight. This nominated judge has already gone on the record multiple times to criticize the Affordable Care Act. She's gone as far to say that it should be, quote, invalidated. Well, I think this whole process should be invalidated. So we're here today to remind Senator Jack Reed and Senator Sheldon Whitehouse of what's really at stake in this fight. And this fight will not be won by pointing out Republican hypocrisy. This fight will be won by fighting fire with fire. The same way that Senator Ted Cruz was once willing to stoop so low in an effort to prevent the Affordable Care Act from being passed, that he stood on the Senate floor for over 20 hours and read Dr. Seuss. We're calling on our senators to use every procedural mechanism possible to stop this nomination and confirmation process from happening. Because unlike what Senator Cruz might paint it as, this is not a nursery book story. This is real life for real people. Thank you very much.
Whitehouse, we are in this fight. Healthcare is a human right. Whitehouse, we are in this fight. Healthcare is a human right. Whitehouse, we are in this fight. Healthcare is a human right. Whitehouse, we are in this fight. Healthcare is a human right.